Good morning, guys. Today we're going to work on activity 4.2. Get through this, and I may start 4.3 today, or I may just do one lesson and pick up on Monday the rest of this. If you guys do not know, there is no school tomorrow, so you do not need to go on and do work. Feel free, if you'd like to get caught up on things you're missing and that you have not done, please do so. Use this weekend time to get everything done. Do not think that you have extended time just to do nothing, because we can make things incomplete, which could cause you to have to repeat some classes. So just to be aware, to make sure you're staying on top of getting some of this work done if you've not logged on to do anything. All right. Today we're going to work on 4.2, analyzing graphs of systems of linear inequalities. Okay, so first part here says determine the solution set of the given system of linear inequalities, and it's asking us to graph them. Okay, so we have to get these. So essentially what we need to do is get them to plug points into them and see if they're true. Okay, so let's see how the best they made their graph, because once again they don't really explain much, they just give you a graph here. So let's set these up first off as we're going to do the first one here, and I'm going to do this one over here to kind of show you guys work. So we have x plus y. X plus y is greater than 1. Okay, so let's move these over. Get it y equals. So got minus x on each side. So we have y is greater than negative x plus 1. Okay, so let's graph that one first. So we know it's negative, so we know that's going to go down. Okay, that's going downhill, because this first number here, which is our y-intercept, is positive. We know that's going to be marked at 1 to start. Okay, now what that means is this is going to be a 1 by 1, because essentially the negative x means it's negative 1x right here. So it just means, and since it's negative, it's going downhill. So we just go every one spot, we put a dot. So we go, since it's going downhill, we go right one, down one, right one, down one, right one, down one, all the way down till we can't go anymore. Going up, we have to go up one, left one, up one, left one, and so on. We can now, and because we are using that symbol, this is just a die line, so you can just leave the dots like that. It's a dash line. We just leave the dots like that. You don't need to try and add dashes. Let's look at the other one now, which is negative x plus y is greater than or equal to 3. We add x on each side. Leaves us y is less than or equal to x plus 3. So, once again, because there's the 3, that's our y-intercept, and it's positive, and the whole problem is positive, we know we're going to go up. But we got to start on 3 first. Our 3, I'm going to go kind of like this, is our starting point. Just like our 1 was our starting point. Okay, you don't need to do the color arrows like that, because I'm going to shade things in. I just did that so you guys can see why I'm putting those dots there. Okay. Now, as I said, we know this is positive because it's x plus 3, not negative x plus 3. So we're going uphill. So this is up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, and so on and so forth. Same thing goes down. Left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1. And you know the drill. I'm not going to repeat myself all the way through this. Now, because we're using this, we remember that this symbol or this symbol equals dotted line. This symbol or this symbol equals solid line. So now, for the one that's going uphill, we just draw a solid line, hold it all the way down. It'll give you a pretty accurate straight line. Once again, if it's off a little bit, it's okay. I'm not going to fret too much on that. Now, what we have to do is see problems that we can use that will work on both. So for example, if I plug 0, 0 in for x and y, we look at both of these ones. Over here, 0 plus 0, excuse me. So we have this problem here. 0 is greater than 0 plus 1. That's not true, so that one does not work there. We try it over here. 0 is greater than x plus 3. I'm sorry, 0 plus 3. Or I'm sorry, 0 is less than or equal to 0 plus 3. That's true. So we can shade this part down here. I'm going to use 3 different colors just so you guys know. Because 0 and 0 lands here, I'm going to shade this one pink here. Oh. I'm going to shade these ones right here. Now I'm going to pick another point on another side. So let's go with 2, 2. Okay, so 2 is greater than essentially negative 2 because we're subbing that in, plus 1. So negative 2 plus 1 gives us negative 1. 2 is greater than negative 1. That is true. So that one works. We do it over here. 2 is less than or equal to 2 plus 3. That's 5. So 2 is less than or equal to 5. That's true. So I'm going to shade this color blue on this side because that works. Okay, so pink. I'm going to do this. Pink works for this side. Blue works for this side and this side. And then we're going to test the other 2 squares and see what they work, if any of them work. Okay. Let's pick one in this top part up here. So this, I'm going to just call this zone 1, zone 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to pick a spot in zone 3 now. Let's go with x is 0 and y is 4. Okay. Y is 4. X is 0 plus 1. 4 is greater than 1. That works. So we know that side's going to work. Let's try this side. 4 is greater than or equal to x. Oops, sorry. X is 0 plus 3. That is not true because 4 is not less than or equal to 3. So it does not work on this side. So that means we're going to go yellow. Yellow works on this side. I hope you guys are kind of starting to see how I'm doing this, where I'm picking a point on each side and seeing if it worked. So a point in the bottom 4 here, or zone 1, worked for the left side, but did not work for the right side. Number in the zone 2 worked for the right side and left side, and a number in zone 3 worked for only the right side, not the left side. So let's test one last one in zone 4. Let's go with, we're going to go x is negative 4 and y is 2. So let's try here. X is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 3 is greater than or equal to, and I said y is 2. So this gives us negative 1 is greater than or equal to 2. That's not true, does not work. And I said y is 2, and x is negative 4 plus 1. Negative 4, or negative 1 essentially here, because it's negative times a negative 4 gives us a positive 4. Plus 1, 5 is less than or equal than 2, does not work. So we leave that blank. Okay, so zone 4 does not work for anyone. So your graph should look something like this. If you use different colors, that's fine. Just make sure you know that this is going to be zone 1 and 2, and this is going to be zone 2 and zone 3. Okay. I'll leave it on there for a second so you guys can get an idea and see what it looks like. And then I'm going to move on to the next problem. All right. Now, let's look at number 2 here. So number 2 says choose a point in each shaded region of the graph. Determine whether each point is solution of the system. Describe how the shaded region represents the solution. So, excuse me, we essentially did this. So we'll just copy down kind of what we've done. So the first point we said 0, 0. We also said 2, 2. And they did -8. Yep, they did zone 4 for us already. And then we did zone 3, which was 0, 4. So if we look at this, we're just plugging these numbers back into our formulas here. So essentially, 0 plus 0 is greater than 1. Okay, so this is, just to give you guys an idea, this was the right side. This was the left side problems. Okay, plug them in here, -0 plus, I don't know why my thing's not working, plus 0 is greater than, or less than or equal to 3. So we know that this comes out to be 0 is less than 1. Does not work. 0 is less than, or 0 is greater than 1 does not work. 0 is less than or equal to 3 does work. So we know this works with only one solution. Plug these back in like we did before. 2 plus 2 is greater than 1. 4 is greater than 1. This works. -2 plus 2 is less than or equal to 3. That's -2 plus 2 gives us 0 is greater than or less than or equal to 3. That works. So solution works with both. And then last but not least, this is zone 1, 2, 3, and zone 4, just so you guys remember. We plug these back in. 0 plus 4 is greater than 1. 4 is greater than 1. That works. -0 plus 4 is less than or equal to 3. 4 is less than or equal to 3 does not work. So solution works with one solution only. So that's kind of an explanation of it. So like I said, we did this in the beginning, so we're kind of good on this right now. I'm hoping so. This is what we kind of worked through up here in, I'm not going to use pink, I'm going to use hunter green. All of this is kind of us showing our work for this down there. Okay, just so you guys kind of are aware, that's how we kind of did this. We kind of jumped ahead a little bit and did that. So it says number 3, Allen makes a statement about the intersection point of a system of inequalities. Explain why Allen's statement is incorrect. I'm going to skip Allen's statement. We're not going to do Allen's statement because I'm not going to ask you guys something like that on a test, so we're not going to do that. All right, now, how we're going to do this. This is going to be a little graphing part. We're going to practice some graphing on these. So solve each system of linear inequalities by graphing the solution set. Then identify 2 points that are solutions on the system. Okay, so right away, looking at this, we are in our graphing standard form. Looking at these, we're going to be dotted line, okay? Next thing we have to look at is our B's. in the y equals mx plus b formula. B, so the 3's are our starting points on y. So we're going to have 1 point on positive 3 and 1 point on negative 3. Okay? Because it's 5x, essentially what that means, it's going up 5 over 1. Up 5 over 1. So we're going to go with the first one here. Up 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. Can't go up anymore. Now we're going to go down 5 to the left 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left 1. Can't go down any farther because there's no more. And the same goes with the other one because it's positive. So we're going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. Can't go up any higher. We're going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. Can't go any more. So now we have these two graphs. Okay? My best thing I will say to you guys is keep the dots together because we're going to do dashed lines because it's too far apart to be able to know which one's which. So remember the top dots go together. And I'm going to do the other one in a red to kind of help keep the two separate that you know which is which. Once again, if your lines aren't perfect, it's not the end of the world. Just do the best you can. As you can tell, mine are not perfect. And just do what you can. Okay? Now, we have to find, we graphed already, now we have to find two solution points that are solutions to the system. So, since these do not intersect, okay, since you can tell there is no intersection, there are no solutions. So we just say no solutions due to no intersection. Before we go on though, we gotta see which side we have to shade on these. Okay, so let's look at this first one. Let's look at point y is 3 and x is 0. Okay, let's see if this works. So y, actually, we're going to go, I'm going to go to above 1. I'm going to go y is 4 and x is 0. Okay, so y is 4 and x is 0. So that'd be, I'm going to use blue to point. So that'd be this point right there. Okay, y is 3 and x is 0 plus 3. And let's see if this is true. So 4 is greater than or equal to 3, or greater than 3. That is true. So we know that blue dot is part of that system. So we can shade this side blue because that worked. Okay? We know now the other side would not work. So this whole side can be shaded blue. I said you don't have to be perfect to shade like that. The other side will not work. So let's test this one here. Y 5 is greater than 5x minus 3. So let's just look at a point. Let's look at, I'm going to make it a green point for this one. Let's take a look in. Let's just say that green point right there, x is 1, y is 4. So 4 is greater than 5 times 1, or 4 is less than 5 times 1 minus 3. So 5 times 1 just is 5, minus 3 gives us 2. 4 is less than or equal to 2. So that green point does not work, so we can't shade that side. So that means that this side works for this. So we just shade this side in green then. And we leave the middle blank because the middle does not work for either equation. So it's only this side that works. So that is how we do that problem. Now, the last one we're going to do for today, because when it goes on the new one, I don't want to overload you guys, is x is greater than negative 5. Okay, so first one there right away, we know by looking at this problem here that these are going to be solid lines. So since there is no y, we know that this is only going to be hitting the x-axis. So negative 5 is where we graph this. First one. And because there's no y, this is just a vertical line, so it's pretty easy. We can just draw one single line down, just like that. Okay, I'm going to use another color for the next one. X is greater than or equal to 1. So 1 is our point. And the same thing, since there is no y, we just draw a single vertical line straight down like that. There's our two lines. Now we got to see which sides work. Okay, so I'm going to go back to blue or black. I'm going to pick a number to the right of the black line. So we're just going to say, let's go with negative 1, let's just say. Okay, negative 1 is greater than or equal to negative 5. That is true. While number 1 is smaller than 5, but because it is a negative 1 and negative 5, negative 1 is a bigger number. So we know the right side works. So I'm going to color that in, let's just go with that in blue. Okay. So any number to the right of this works. Okay. Now, I'm going to pick a number to the left of the red. Okay, so I'm going to use the black color again. I'm going to pick, let's go 0. Okay, so 0 is greater than or equal to 1. That is not true. Okay, so that means any number to the left does not work in this solution, so it's only numbers to the right. So that means we're going to shade color in anything to the right of that number. So I'm just using yellow, and I'm shading to the right of that red line, because any number to the left will not work. Okay? And there's our problem set. So both work anything higher than number 1. Answer is 1. Okay? So that means, as a solution point, because they ask us to do solution, there are two possible solutions, or at least two possible solutions are, you can pick any number, such as, let's go with 2, 0. Right there. That works because they're both shaded. I could pick 8, 8. Because they're both shaded. I could pick negative 6, negative 8. Because they're both shaded. I'm sorry, not negative 6. I'm sorry, 6, negative 8. Because they're both shaded. That works. Okay, those are some possible solutions. Okay, remember, tomorrow there is no school. Make sure you get caught up on any work because there's only a couple more chapters until our summative. I do not want to see people fall behind or have to get incomplete and have to do some summer school stuff or anything else. So make sure you guys are getting your work done and submitting it to me. If you need reminders submitting, you hit this key right up here in the top left corner on Notability. That's the square with the arrow. You click that. You hit Other Apps. Share Note. It's going to work it, getting it created. Then you click Student. Once you click Student on here, it comes up with the class here. You need to make sure that here in the class, it is the actual math class ours, so you don't accidentally submit it to another class, because if you submit it to Mr. Goldberg or Mr. Captain or any other teacher, I will not be getting it, so I can't give you guys credit for it. Make sure you look to see what the assignment name is. So, for example, what we're working on now would be considered lesson Model 2, Topic 3, Lesson 4. Okay, so if I had you submit this, you'd have to submit it through there and then hit Submit. Once you hit Submit, then it sends an email to me, and then I know that it's been done. Okay, so please make sure you guys are submitting your work. If you need anything, I'm around. We have our meeting, Math 1 meeting next week, Wednesday. So please make sure you guys log on to that. That's just a check-in. We're not doing any lessons. It's just checking in, seeing how you guys are doing. All right, have a great weekend. If you celebrate Easter, have hopefully a joyful Easter with your family if you're able to see some of them. If not, I will see you guys I'll talk to you guys on Monday. Have a great rest of your day, guys.